Alright, this is my first attempt at doing any kind of YouTube show. It seems like everybody's doing one these days. I've always wanted to have a talk show of some kind. I'm sure a lot of people have, so now we have the opportunity to do so with YouTube and webcams and stuff like that. And, after seeing Justin Bieber, if Justin Bieber can become successful, I guess anybody can, so take a shot at it. You have to bear with me, it's the first time doing something like this, so a little nervous, but we'll see what I come up with. And I'm doing something different than what I've ever seen from a talk show. I'm going to cover sports, then entertainment, and then, because I'm a wrestling fan, sports entertainment. So we'll see how it goes. Hopefully, and maybe it'll suck and nobody will ever watch it again. But I hope people keep coming back to watch. So first, the only major thing going on in sports right now is the NFL playoffs, and I'm a Dolphins fan. That's not too easy to admit nowadays, especially with the way the management and ownership has been the past couple months. But I don't like the Jets personally because I'm a Dolphins fan. But they obviously proved that they can get. They got as far as they did against the Patriots and beat them. And it seems that you think week to week, it seems the best team is supposed to win, and then they never do. So I'm still going to go with Pittsburgh. I'm going to take Pittsburgh over the Jets, but it'll be close. I don't think. I mean, Jets beat Pittsburgh once. I don't think they're going to do it again. At least not this year, and not at home. And to get a chance to get to the Super Bowl. So that's I'm making that prediction, and I'm scared to make Green Bay as my other pick against the Bears. The hottest team is probably the Green Bay Packers, but it doesn't seem to. The hottest team was the Patriots a week ago, so who knows? So I'm going to pick the Packers, and I'm going to pick the Steelers, and I'll wait until next week to pick a winner for the Super Bowl, just since we don't know exactly who's going yet, but that's my prediction there. Other sports news, nothing exciting going on in the NBA that I've seen, or in most other sports. I saw Andy Roddick got bounced again from another major tournament in tennis. It's not a big deal. I'm used to that after all this time. Other than that, I'm a Yankees fan. I got the 27 championship hat on, and I saw that they signed Andrew Jones. So had to make a mention of that. That's the only noteworthy thing I've heard as far as baseball goes recently. Yeah. They needed another outfielder, I guess. We need more pitching, but the reserve pitching is good. The starting pitching, not so much. We'll see how far the Yankees get this year. That's really all I can. This is just a brief intro show. I'm gonna see how it looks and see how many hits I get and see what happens before I go deeper into detail with anything else. So that's it for sports, at least for this show. I wanted to say something briefly about the Golden Globes. I don't watch the Golden Globes. Other than being the one time where TV and movie people get together, I think it's just another award show that we don't need. I mean, we got the Oscars, we got the Emmys. Why do you need another one? And it's just like the country music. There's at least 3 different country music awards. It's just way too many for one specific genre of an event. So I don't know why. Anyway, Golden Globes. I really didn't, other than True Grit, I really didn't see any of these movies, so I can't comment on whether it was right or wrong, who got picked. I saw that the Tourist, the Johnny Depp, Angelina Jolie, saw they were nominated for Best Actor and Best Actress in a comedy or musical. I never saw the Tourist, but I don't think it qualifies as a comedy or musical. I'm not sure why it was nominated in that category. But I did see, as far as TV goes, The Walking Dead. I don't think The Walking Dead got nearly enough credit. I think that's a great show, and I would recommend that to anybody to watch if they can find it on demand or DVR or whatever they have, or when it comes out on DVD. Other than that, I think Jim Parsons deserved what he got with his award. I think that's one of the most brilliant played characters on television. So at least they got that one right. But again, I think that award show is probably not needed since we have the Oscars and Emmys. Other than that, I've noticed American Idol is back, and the ratings are down. But this year, it's usually Tuesday and Wednesday that it came on. Now it's Wednesday and Thursday, and it's going up against Modern Family and Big Bang Theory, which are two of the biggest shows on television. And it surprises me that they would do that. Usually, they try to put their big shows, keep it separate so they can get even bigger ratings, keep it away from the other big shows. But so surprisingly, though, everything pretty much held up, and not just Modern Family, Big Bang Theory. Everything on NBC held up. In fact, things like Community got higher ratings than normal. And I would recommend Community's a show I would recommend to everybody. Community and Outsourced. I never thought Outsourced would be funny when I first saw it, but I think it's hilarious. And last week's episode was the best one of the season, so I would recommend at least watching an episode or two. And that's usually if there's a new show I want to watch, I'll watch an episode or two, maybe even 3, before I decide whether it stinks or not. I'm making an exception with this show, Perfect Couples or whatever it was called, that comes on after Community. I almost turned it off in the middle of it, and it's that they're just yelling at each other the whole time. It made no sense to me. I'm not going to watch it again. I'm not sure how anybody could watch it personally. Olivia Munn could be naked the whole time. I don't think I would watch it. That's how bad it was. We'll see how American Idol goes throughout the season, though. Well, maybe they'll move it around or something. I don't know. But it's still the biggest show on TV. Surprisingly, after all these years, hopefully this will be the end of it. I'm after season 5, it's just gone downhill, if you ask me. Lastly, as far as entertainment goes, I want to mention I'm a Batman fan. If you can't see the poster behind my wall, but Anne Hathaway is going to be Catwoman. I think that's a great choice. Can't wait to see her in whatever kind of outfit they put on there. And somebody named Thomas Hardy, I don't know who that is. I'm not familiar with his work. I'll have to look him up. He's going to be Bane. I thought that was an interesting choice. I would have gone with the Riddler or Penguin or both. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how Christopher Nolan turns that one out. And supposedly it's going to be the last. At least it's going to be the last one he does. We'll see if it's successful. We'll see if they do any more, or just try to revamp it again a few years down the road, like they did with The Dark Knight and Batman Begins and all of that. Lastly, now my specialty, which is wrestling. Anybody that wants, I do a weekly column on ringrap.com, ring-rap.com, and they cover boxing, MMA, they cover all of it, anything that takes place in a ring. And I do a end of the week column on wrestling, not the others, but it's a very good site if you wanted to check that out. The Royal Rumble is my favorite event. It's coming up tomorrow, next week, a week from today. And I don't understand the 40. Now they're putting in 40 men instead of 30 this year. Other than a payday for 10 extra jobbers, I don't understand why. I don't understand why they're putting in 10 more people. I've looked at as of a couple days ago, they had 21 listed. They didn't have Wade Barrett and his new group, the Core, with 2 R's. I don't know why they put a second R in there. I call them the Boar. Especially if you listen to Heath Slater talk, it's just excruciating. I almost had to mute the TV. I just don't understand 10 extra guys in the Royal Rumble. I don't see the need for it. You could take out a couple of the jobbers you've already put in there, and I mean, Big Show's still not in there. Wade Barrett and those guys still aren't in. And I'm assuming Triple H is going to return for the Royal Rumble, so I would put him in there, and that you should be able to get 30 out of that without having to add 10 extra people. You think Vince would want to save some money on extra paydays, but who knows. Now, if they were doing something along the lines of 15 Raw guys, 15 SmackDown guys, and then putting in 10 legends and Hall of Famers just for nostalgia purposes and making it fun that way. That I'd be okay with that, but I don't think they're going to do that. I think they're just adding 10 extra jobbers to the mix. I mean, there's only going to be a couple guys that probably go in. I think CM Punk will win, and I think Randy Orton will beat The Miz, and that way they'll face each other for the title at WrestleMania. Because I'm not sure, that Miz is capable of main eventing WrestleMania at this point, but maybe a couple years from now. There's another problem I have is there's no other matches, and they've been doing this for a couple of years now. They don't there are no matches set up almost a week before the event. I mean, you got 2 title matches in the Rumble. I would assume there's going to be an Intercontinental match with Kofi Kingston and Swagger, and then a U.S. title match. They should put a U.S. title match with Morrison and Daniel Bryan, because especially if there's no commercial interruptions, you put on at least a good 15-minute match that would get the crowd going. That should start off the night, in my opinion. And they may do a tag match. I know Awesome Kong is supposed to appear one of these days, so they may introduce her in a women's match or a Divas match. Other than that, I have no idea. That's all I've got as far as that goes. I don't really watch TNA, but I do know that they're talking about bringing back the Main Event Mafia, and I'm just thinking, I mean, they're just making the same mistakes WCW did. Of course, Bischoff and Hogan are running the show, so that's going to happen. But I don't know. Kevin Nash may come back. He says he's going to be at the Hall of Fame ceremony when Shawn Michaels gets inducted. We'll see about that. If he's with TNA, he won't be able to. Sting is another one. He's supposed to possibly be inducted into the Hall of Fame, but I don't know if they're going to sign him. If they sign him and Nash, that ends there. Then you got Kurt Angle, Scott Steiner. I can't believe he still wrestles. You could turn AJ Styles. I don't think he should be a part of Fortune anyway. Turn him and make him part of that. Bring back Booker T, and maybe bring in Sid or somebody like that. I don't know. Bring in Mr. Anderson and RVD, I guess, could be part of it. I just don't. It's okay to have factions and groups, and they should, but I mean that's all it is now. It's like WCW was, where there was other than Goldberg and DDP, there was no WCW and Booker T. I mean, it was Horseman, it was NWO Black and White, it was NWO Hollywood, then they had the who else did they have? The Rey Mysterio's group. I can't even think of their names. They just had 1,000. The West Texas Redneck. I mean, they had. All it was factions, and it ultimately one of many things that ultimately brought WCW down. And well, we'll see where that goes. That's all. That's all I have. Again, I'm not gonna say that this obviously is a part in the interruption. I'm not gonna be as big as those guys. You never know. I just want to do my own show. Hopefully people keep coming back, and maybe somebody will see it and they'll like me enough. Here, Regis is retiring. That show's a little too tame for me, but if I got to sit next to Kelly Ripa every day, I would do it. Hopefully everybody watches, and hopefully next week I'll have more that I can put out there. But again, this was just an introductory to see what I got, how many hits I get, and see if anybody watches. So hopefully you watch, and hopefully you come back next week.